Oh, greetings. It's May 10th, 11th, something like that, Sunday morning. And I'm actually milking today, so I'm in between things, but I got to feed these guys, right? And which guys do you think I'm talking about? You think I'm talking about those piggles? I'm not. I'm talking about all the little microbes that live in that field right there. It's 100 by 100, and I'd say there's probably, if we picked it all up and weighed it, I'd say there's probably 1,000 pounds of little pig doots out there. Those all have to be consumed by the soil, by the microbes that are in the soil. So I'm wanting to feed that soil today. I want to feed that with additional microbes and habitat for them. And I'm doing that with this product right here. This is the world-renowned Biochar, right? So I suppose I could run this through a grinder, and then I could get in there with some sort of spreading machine and spread it all out. Before I do that, though, I'd need to charge this. I'd need to inoculate this with some sort of heavy microbial soup or broth or something like that, so that we're adding to the microbes that are out there. I don't want to subtract from them. I want to add to them. Well, that's a process in itself. And let's say I didn't have any livestock out there. There's ways to do it, and I do it. I will take biochar, grind it up, put it in compost, and then I do have a compost spreader. So that's how I do the field out there. But in this case, there's an easy way around. So I'm preparing these guys' feed right now, and I've got a bucket full of biochar that I'm going to put in it. Before I do, I'm going to cover this biochar with some nice milk that's been sitting out for a few days. And it doesn't actually get stinky. It just separates. Raw milk just separates. It doesn't get stinky like like store milk does. So I'll show you what I have here. And I'm just putting all of this together. So this is some bread that I put in this barrel. And then I poured some of this milk. It's not really milk. You can see Jill skimmed all the cream off of it for the house, because whenever we have extra milk, that equals butter for the house. This one, I just submerged some bread in it. And I'm gonna just put this biochar in here like this. This is some really nice stuff. I made it a month ago or so. And just let it sit out. I'm gonna chop this all in. And what'll happen is it'll absorb a lot of this milk that's in here. And if I had anything else that I thought would be beneficial, like some salt, some mineral, or anything like that, I would put it in there. And what you have to think about, I think, when you're feeding livestock on an area, is think about that area. Like, if I just feed them out there constantly and I never let it rest, it's going to sour. It's going to get so out of balance that nothing will ever happen out there. And I don't want that. So my plan is, on that particular piece, the field that's just next to it has germinated really nicely and is growing pretty well. So I would say, I don't know, a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks, I'll just be putting them in on there. And what I put in next to it was clover and field peas. Let's see. And my new favorite, kale. I put a lot of kale in there, which, they don't really go together, because field peas is a quick crop. Kale is a long-term deal. Kale, I'm finding out now, you can plant kale and it's going to come back year after year. And the second year that it comes back really strong. I can even show you that. I made this discovery. Oh, let's see, I planted this last summer, might have been midsummer, with kale. And it got to be higher than this fence, and this fence is good 5 feet. This fence right here is 5 feet. 5 feet, 4.5 feet. It's right up to my pockets on my shirt. So, and that, they took it down over the winter, and there was nothing there but those spindly little roots sticking up. And I showed them to you, and I said, "Yeah, I don't think so. It doesn't look like it's going to make it." But to be on the safe side, I cultivated this half and replanted it with kale. And the kale is doing well, but the lamb's quarter is doing really well too. And I didn't plant that. That's just here. But this came back, and I am thinking that it's got a bigger root than a new planting. That's a 1 year root onto there. So these could be higher than the fence this year. Who knows? But I mean, they're there right now. They're collecting all this sunlight. They're collecting all the rain, and they're storing that energy for those dudes over there. And gals, I should say. Maybe that's a little sexist. But all I have to do is pull that gate and let them in here. And you know, I actually could, because they'd come in and they'd eat their fill of this kale, but they're never going to get ahead of it at this point. And over there is just rye. And we let them in on that rye, and that rye is growing ahead of them. They're not getting a handle on it. Right? So this is, I believe this enhanced fertility here is because of the biochar. I've been making it for like 10 years, and I've just gotten to the point, I'll show you later. I've gotten to the point where I'm decided to become serious about it. You know, I guess it's levels of seriousness. You know, I was serious enough to build a retort. There's a retort that I built. That's one of them. That one I built for a friend. But mine is identical to that. And I just brought mine down and did a rebuild on it. I put some new parts on it and reconfigured it so it would work better. And then the whole area where I make the biochar, I'm upgrading that so that I can handle it better. I can get it ground easier. It's safer. I don't have to use the front end loader to do it. So I'll show you that a little bit later on, because that's where I'm going right after I'm done here. Okay, biochar, it's the way to go. Anyone can farm.